Live now.
Let's go. Let's do it.
All right. All right, everybody. It's Chris Garrison. I'm here with Adam Holt out of Tupelo, Mississippi. Both of us don't know about born and raised, but we definitely living here now.
That's right.
And this is airing live on our Bigger Vision Facebook page, also on LinkedIn and my YouTube page. So if you guys haven't checked me out in those areas, please do so. If you're on one of those areas and you want to plug into a great community, look us up on Facebook, Bigger Vision. It's free, no membership required, ton of content that gets dropped, and we try to do these weekly. So Adam is a personal trainer. He's drinking his healthy water, and he's also got a studio. What would you call it?
I have a personal training studio, Elevate Fitness.
Personal training studio, Elevate Fitness. So I've known Adam for a while. Really met him through the gym experience, and attended his gym for a little while as well. And me and my wife, I've seen Adam make some major changes in the last couple of years. I saw how he really pivoted his company during COVID, and now I've seen him enter into another mastermind group with me. And he's really trying to accelerate his wealth and his lifestyle. That financial freedom is what it seems like. So, Adam, tell us what you did before fitness and what got you into being a personal trainer and then eventually opening your own studio.
Yeah. So first, who was your last live guest? Who am I following up here? I need to know how hard I need to bring it.
I can't tell you that, man. If you didn't watch it, then you got to go back and look at the recording.
So my story, let me first start with a disclaimer. I'm not a doctor, so nothing I say should be taken as medical advice. I barely graduated high school. I didn't graduate college. I've got a $500 personal trainer certification that I've turned into a pretty awesome business. So now that the disclaimer is out of the way, how did I get into fitness? It was 2013. I was a career fireman at Tupelo Fire Department. I was probably 310 pounds, strongest dude in the room, but had absolutely no stamina. And I remember one particular house fire that we were first in on. I was at the busiest house in Tupelo, so we were at every house fire just about. But this one in particular, we were first in, and it was raging. It was a big one. So I remember being inside the house, just spraying water left and right. And I remember being so physically exhausted, I thought to myself, if my partner were to go down, could I even get him out right now? If something were to happen to me, could I get myself out? Because my conditioning was horrible. I mean, I was a bull for the first minute, but after the first minute, I was done. 310 pounds. So I was turning 30 that year. I think that math is right. It's pretty close. And I decided that I want to be healthier in my 30s than I was in my 20s. I was overweight all of my 20s. So the typical firehouse diet is not that conducive to your overall health and fitness. We like to cook at the firehouse, and it's typically not healthy food. So back to that fire, I made up my mind then that I wanted to be healthier in my 30s than I was in my 20s. So I didn't really know what I was doing. I had always just been a power lifter, competed in powerlifting competitions all over the place. So I started looking into my diet, not knowing what I know now, that diet nutrition is 80% of the battle. And I'm a gym owner, and I'll tell you that your nutrition is 80% of the battle. So basically what I did without knowing it is I went on a low carb diet, basically. A whole food, low carb diet. I like to tell my clients, if you can't catch it, kill it, or grow it, you probably shouldn't eat it. Catch it, kill it, or grow it, you probably
shouldn't. Good and simple, man. I like that.
Simple. So it doesn't, there's a lot of catchy diets out there. There's, Atkins and South Beach and Mediterranean. There's thousands of them, but really it doesn't have to be that complicated. Just eat whole, unprocessed as possible, catch it, kill it, grow it kind of thing, and watch your sugars. So over the course of that year, I lost 100 pounds. I was around 31-ish or so, and I had lost 100 pounds. It took me a year. So my buddies at the fire station were like, hey, what did you do? How did you lose all this weight? You've transformed yourself. You're not Big Hoss anymore. So I got to thinking, I set some of my Firehouse buddies up on some nutrition and workout plans, and they started having success. And I thought, man, I can make a living doing this. So I didn't have any money. So I had to finance the personal trainer course. They'll let you pay $50 a month till you get it paid off. And I went through ISSA, got my personal trainer certification, and I started doing it part-time at Premier Athletics. And the way the Firehouse schedule works, it's 24 hours on, 48 hours off. So it was really tough for me to set up clients on a consistent schedule because of the rotating shifts. So in, I think it was 2014, into 2014, I left the fire service and I went full-time as a personal trainer at Premier Athletics. So 8 years now. 8 years I've been doing it. What was it? Did I answer the question, or did I get?
Yeah, you did. I'm smiling because I can't see who the Facebook user is because they didn't log in or something because we're using StreamYard. But he said I need to gain about 25 pounds.
Is it male or female? Can you tell? You can't tell.
I'm gonna say that's got to be a male. I've never heard a female say I need to gain.
That's right. Hey, it's easier to take 25 pounds off of an overweight person than it is to put 25 pounds on a hard gaining male or a male with a super high metabolism. That's one of the toughest clients. They've got to eat. I guess they can hear me right now. They need to eat like a horse, and especially protein, at least 1.5 times your body weight in grams of protein to help answer that.
I've got it's a male and his name is Pete. I know a few Pete's, so I'm not sure which one, but all right. So that's how you got into it. And how long did you act as a personal trainer before you opened up your studio, your personal studio?
Yeah, I opened up my first studio in 2018. So 5-6 years, I was working out of Premier Athletics and got super busy. I was probably running 50 to 60 clients through that gym. And I just kind of wanted to do my own thing. So I moved into a 1,300 square foot studio. It was just me. I was in that studio for about 2 years, and I brought on 2 other trainers. It started getting really crowded in the 1,300 square foot studio. So 2 years ago, we moved into where we are now, an 11,000 square foot studio, and there's now 7 trainers.
Wow.
So we've grown, and there's probably 150 clients that come in and out. So my studio is different in that it's not a 24-hour open gym like you typically see. It's a personal training studio. If you're here, you're most likely working with a trainer. I do allow my clients to come in and do extra work on their own, especially extra cardio. But typically the people that are here are working one-on-one with a trainer, or they're taking part in a small group class.
Gotcha. So
a lot of moving parts out here. There's probably 5 trainers out there now just getting after it.
Wow. So let me ask you this for the guy or gal that's sitting there saying, man, I would like to consider being a personal trainer. I've always been interested into the health and fitness, getting my own personal gym time in. I've got a bunch of friends or family that have asked me before to train them. What would you tell them?
I would say if you have that passion, to go for it. And if I can do anything to help, feel free to message me, because I love helping new trainers get started. I actually just had one of my most consistent, I can't say my absolute best because my other trainers may see this, but she was my most consistent. She was here 10 hours a day. She actually opened her own studio in Amory a couple months ago. So I love seeing new trainers start out and progress through their career. And if it so be desired, they open their own studio. So I would say go for it. ISSA, NASM, and ACE are considered like the 3 big certifications. Mine's through ISSA, but either of those 3 are great.
Gotcha. Okay.
Passion for helping people. You need to know a little bit about what you're talking about, and you got to kind of somewhat have the look. That's the 3 things that you need. You got to be a good people person and a good listener, because about half of this job is counseling.
I believe it. All right. So let me ask you this. Let's get on to some topics that I'm sure people are like, tell me how to get skinny, tell me how to get muscles, those basic, tell me how. So how do you start out a new client that's trying to lose weight?
Good question. So during our initial consultation, normally before, I ask that client to bring me a 3-day food log. A lot of trainers will throw a meal plan at you. Meal plans fail probably 90% of the time because most people, especially here in the South, our diets are garbage. So if you're eating a garbage diet and then I say, all right, Monday, you now eat this perfect diet, I'm setting you up to fail. So what I do is I have my clients bring a 3-day food log so that I know where they are currently. I know their current intake. I go as far as to put it into a total calorie count. I break it down into macros, protein, carbs, and fat, and just really see where they are, because just like with their workouts in the gym, I have to meet them where they are. I can't have any expectations that they're on a certain level physically or nutritionally. So that 3-day food log kind of gives me a baseline of where they are. I call that phase 1. I take that 3-day food log based on what I see in it, and I make tweaks and adjustments to their diet. I call it phase 2. That runs for 30 days. After 30 days, they're going to see some change in their body. They come back to, they're pumped. I give them phase 3 where I pull a little bit harder. And because of the results they saw in the first 30 days, I typically get more out of them in phase 3. Phase 2, small changes, but looking to lose weight, it's a kind of a tough question, because you want to just say put them in a caloric deficit, which means that you eat less calories than you burn. But there's a flip side to that, because a very common issue that I see that I really didn't recognize until I started asking for the food logs are a lot of times females are notorious undereaters. And when I say undereaters, they're living on 500, 600, 700 calories a day. Wow. So with that particular client, I would reverse diet them out of that severe caloric deficit that they're in, because they're basically, they put their body in a starvation mode. Your brain wants to survive. So if your TDE, your total daily expenditure, the calories that it takes you to go from midnight one day to midnight the next, if your TDE is 2,500 calories and you're only eating 600 calories, your body's not going to burn fat. Your body is actually going to catabolize muscle or fuel itself off of muscle and store fat. So those are the tough clients, because I actually have to convince them to lose more. You're going to have to eat more. And that's like pulling teeth. Sometimes I'll have a client that's overeating. Their sugar intake is too high. They're not drinking enough water. Generally, the very best thing you can do that costs no money and it's very little effort is intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is like almost always included in phase 2. When I give somebody phase 2, I almost always ask for them to intermittent fast, assuming that they can get their minimum amount of calories in that 8-hour feed window. Intermittent fasting typically is done on a 16-8 schedule, 16-hour fast. Don't freak out. You're asleep for most of that time. 16-hour fast, 8-hour feed. People typically do like 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., but you can float it either way, as long as you stick to those 8 hours. But the only way I put that on clients is if they're getting in that minimum amount of calories.
So I've also heard people, when you're talking about, you're in starvation mode and we've kind of killed our metabolism from the way we eat and whatnot. I have in the past heard where people say you should eat every hour or so something small so that it beefs your metabolism up and jump starts it again. Do you find truth in that, or is that just totally false?
I've heard that too. I have just an opinion here. Now, This is my opinion. I think that your body does the same amount of work processing one big meal as it does processing 8 small meals. I don't think there's a difference. Eating the small meals throughout the day may keep you full, maybe. I don't know. But I don't really think that that's a huge deal. Intermittent fasting is really the single best thing anybody can do to lose body fat, because when you wake up in the morning, say you wake up at 6 a.m. and you're fasted until 10 a.m. When you break that fast, your body is fueling itself off straight body fat. but we were all taught breakfast is the most important meal of the day. So the first thing people do is they wake up and they eat. So now your body's processing the food you ate that morning, and it's fueling your morning on the food that you ate. So I like to be fasted until about 10 or 11 a.m., then break that fast. And the earlier you can cut off your eating in the evening, the better. 6, 7, you don't want to eat and go lay down, especially a carb heavy meal.
Wow. So let's flip over to the gaining muscle real quick. And since you mentioned carb, I'll jump with this question. So I've heard, hey, leg days tomorrow, let's load up on carbs.
Carb
Why
up.
is that?
I think that I do think that's beneficial. People do it before big races, before big lift days. I think it just really boosts your glycogen levels. But yeah, I think that is beneficial. I think that people get kind of carried away with that too and use it as an excuse to eat a big bowl of pasta also. I don't carb load.
So I'm wanting to gain muscle mass. What is my basics for learning how to gain or obtaining muscle mass?
So the typical person can absorb between 40 to 60 grams of protein per sitting based on body composition. So like a bigger dude can probably digest 50 grams, a smaller lady may be closer to the 40 side. But if you're trying to gain muscle, I would recommend eating at least your body weight in grams of protein, really 1.5 times your body weight in grams of protein, if possible. You're also going to need to be eating carbs to grow muscle. So not just protein, eat carbs, protein, and then moderate fats.
All right. So give me layman terms of grams and all of this, without me having to do the math. What is something simple I can walk into the grocery store, know if I grab these ingredients and I munch on these all week, I'm either going to, and most likely do both at the same time, I'm going to lose fat and I'm going to gain muscle as long as I've got weightlifting involved with it.
Remember, catch it, kill it, grow it. Grab you a rotisserie chicken. You can eat on that for a couple days. Grab big salad mixes. Good carbs come from rices, sweet potatoes. I don't have a problem with white or red potatoes. Those are great carbs. Your good fats will come from seeds, oils, nuts, avocados, things like that are good sources of fat. Eggs are awesome. If you're having to watch your fat, take out the yolk. All of the fat in an egg is inside the yolk, and nearly all the protein is in the white. So, you shake your head. You didn't know that.
Dude, I just eat.
Yeah. So there's 6 grams of protein in an egg. 5 of it's in the white, and I think there's 5 or 6 grams of fat also, and that's all in the yolk. Which men need that yolk for our cholesterol and testosterone levels. So.
All right, you opened up the door, and I know this is something that we spoke about at the mastermind fishing trip that we were on. So, what's your thought process on hormones and the human anatomy with our energy and our performance, male and female, based off what you've been exposed to and you've the information you're aware of?
Yeah, well, I'm a big proponent of keeping your hormones optimized. This is a highly debated topic, but I believe a man over a certain age should have his testosterone levels checked. At age 30, it starts dropping. I don't know if it's 1% or 3% per year, but it starts dropping at age 30. And really, it's like that starts the dying process in a man. When your testosterone is low, it's hard to burn body fat. It's hard to grow muscle. Your sex drive sucks. Your energy levels are terrible. So I believe in optimizing your testosterone levels through testosterone replacement therapy. There's a lot of mixed views on that, though. So I would definitely say consult your doctor. Females need to do a blood panel as well. If you're having trouble losing weight, you're doing everything right. You're eating the perfect macros, and you just can't seem to shed any fat, it's not going to hurt to go have a blood panel done to see if maybe there's any thyroid issues or any other hormonal imbalances.
From my limited experience of being exposed to, I've always done some type of activity in the gym or at home, maybe just doing push-ups, setups, that kind of deal, but never really dove into it. It was just, there is a priority of me having a decent looking physique, but not priority enough for me to, get ripped or anything like that. So I've never dove into that. But every time I have heard somebody on a professional level like yourself, a lot of them will say, hey, if I'm seeing that you can't drop weight and you're doing the work, or you're just lacking energy, or you're not growing in muscle the way I think you should be, they always do send them towards that blood panel. And most of the time it is, from what I've heard, a thyroid or a testosterone issue.
Yeah. And let's don't forget sleep also. Sleep can also be a super important factor.
Yeah.
Not getting the right amount of sleep or quality of sleep, that also could be affecting the goals. As far as weight loss or muscle gain, you've got to get your sleep. It's super important. And we're all so busy now that a lot of us are skimping on our sleep. So that could be the factor that they're missing. But if all those things are in place, I mean, what else do? You're eating perfect, you're exercising like you should be, you're sleeping right, you're drinking your water, then yeah, I think that you should go to a doc and get your labs drawn.
Is just a general practice doctor, right?
Can I say specific things on
Sure. Yeah, you can put a plug in.
I have been a patient of Wellness MD in Carville for the last 4 years. So I would recommend shooting up to Carville, making an appointment with them. If you do not live near Carville, call the office. They do a telehealth option. So I like the Wellness MD in Carville, if I can plug a specific business. You could start with your general doctor. I would probably start with Wellness MD and let them send the lab order to your doctor, and then meet with your doctor, have your labs drawn. They'll send the results to Wellness MD, and they may say your vitamin D's low, your B's low. Like, we're all deficient in vitamin D now. I haven't had a single client yet that has gone and had their labs drawn and they were not deficient in vitamin D. And it's just because we're not all farmers anymore. We're not out in the sun all day. So just about everybody should probably be on vitamin D. But again, don't just go jump on vitamin D. Get your labs drawn and see where you're at.
Yeah, I totally agree. I was feeling sick and went to the doctor. They were like, we don't pull anything up. We'll give you a steroid shot. 2 days later, I was feeling worse, went back, and then finally started pulling blood work. And they're like, dude, you're low here, 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 and here. And one of those was vitamin D. So I got on D3, and I will literally take a couple of tablets of D3, a zinc tablet. And I really need to add a multivitamin just in general, but I need to get a solid blood panel pulled again. I've been amazed. I've had some issues in certain areas being low. And when I began to plug in those fix those deficiencies, my energy level came up, my clarity of thought. I was just able to think through the multi things that I do in business more efficiently. It's really incredible when you're missing those vitamins and those hormones and whatever else that your body is supposed to have. When you're missing them, you don't realize it until you've got them back.
Well, that's
because
like,
holy crap.
Living in that normal and that terrible way of feeling is your normal. So you really don't know anything different until you do optimize your body and everything is running like it's supposed to. Typically people eat such terrible diets and they feel terrible, but they don't realize it because it's their normal. It's what they're used to until they start eating better and drinking their water and getting good sleep. Then they're like, wow, this is the way your body's supposed to feel.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So I've come to you, we're just chatting, and I'm like, dude, I just don't have time to get my life right in the gym. I don't have time. I don't have time to cook this food and eat right. I'm stuck, on the road or in the office. What do you say to those clients?
Yeah, that's my number one pet peeve right there. That one gets me. And we're busy. I mean, Today's people are busy.
Yeah.
But everybody has the same 24 hours in their day. This is probably going to piss some people off. But what dictates whether or not you make it to the gym and you find time to eat right is your list of priorities. Everybody has a list of priorities. Going to the bathroom so you don't pee in your pants, that's a priority. Making sure to eat's only a priority. You've got to pick your kids up. Well, on that list of priorities, somewhere on there is better health. And it's either up towards the top where you make time for it, or it's towards the bottom and you never find time for it. So everybody, I have some clients that I work out with that have 7 kids, 2 jobs, are in school. They still find time to come to the gym and time to eat right. We also, here at Elevate, we have a home fitness program. We developed it during COVID when the gym was shut down for 3 months. So if you can't find time to get to the gym, we bring the gym to you. It's $14.99 a month, and all of the workouts, 5 workouts a week, are delivered via a private Facebook group. So that's one option that makes it a little bit easier. But yeah, I do not accept the I don't have time excuse. I don't accept it. It's not a priority.
I agree. I found myself just not talking about health and wellness, but just in general of my task and business. Instead of saying I just don't have time, I've got to where I say, man, it's just not at priority.
Right.
So shame on me for not having it done if it should be priority.
Right.
It really boils down to, what do you you're going to make time for what you really want to do. And one thing I've said in the past is if you want to change, you got to change something. And to change something means something's got to move out so something new can move in. We've all got the same 24 hours a day, and we all fill it up. It might be with sleep. It might be in laziness in front of the TV or whatever, but it's all full. We just got to find what area we can push out to put the new back in.
Normally people can look at their screen time and seeing where they're spending the most time on their phone, and they can replace that with some gym time or some workout time.
True story.
But yeah, we're on our phones a lot. But if somebody makes up their mind, I have clients that come in, they work out, they kill it in the gym, but they don't see any results. And it's because their diet's not on point. And then one day, like, it's nothing that I do, but it's something in their mind just clicks. And when it clicks, they make up their mind that they want to be better. They want better health. They want to lose that body fat, and they start eating right. And all it takes is 3 or 4 weeks and you start seeing results. And then it's like throwing wood on a fire. I mean, they'll be texting me at all hours of the day and night, just nutrition questions. That spark has been ignited and they're wanting to learn, and they've bought in. And that's when I know that they're about to excel. When they buy in and they fully commit to the nutrition, the 80% part of the battle, when they truly buy into that, I know that some really awesome results are coming.
So how does someone, let's say that they're paycheck to paycheck and it's not priority to hire a personal trainer, or they just are one of those, I'm going to do it myself, I'm not going to be told what to do kind of person. Yeah. What resources are available that they could pull and say, okay, this is how many calories that I should be taking in for my body weight. This is a meal plan for the week, something where I don't have to cook every single day, but maybe have leftovers. Is there any resources you're aware of?
Yeah, you can use MyFitnessPal. That's a good one. Fat Secret is another one. I like MyFitnessPal for my clients because they can share their diary, their food log with me, and I can look at it from my phone so I can kind of monitor their intake. But I think MyFitnessPal is a free download, and you'll enter in some kind of metrics about yourself. And I will say, when it asks how many workouts you complete a week, be pretty conservative on what you say there, because it will throw a really high calorie count out if you're not careful. So MyFitnessPal is a great resource if someone just wants to count calories, and that's a good start. Count your calories for a month, and when you get good at that, then break it down into macros. Your 3 macros are protein, carbs, and fat. A gram of protein and a gram of carb is 4 calories. A gram of fat is 9 calories. So every calorie we eat comes from protein, carbs, or fat. So you
Okay.
get specific like your bodybuilders do and count macros. You can start by calorie counting. As far as like fitness resources go, you can find gym memberships as cheap as $10 a month. That's like 1.5 of those loaded teas that everybody loves.
There you
No,
go. Okay. So for everybody that just stressed out over the macros and counting and all of that, just remember, kill it, grow it, or
catch
grab
it,
it,
catch
catch
it.
it. There you go. Catch it, kill it, grow it.
Catch it, kill it, or grow it. If you can't catch it, kill it, or grow it, you probably shouldn't eat it. There's some
Okay,
exceptions.
so give me some workout routines. What is some basic workout routines that we can go do in the gym and start me with if I'm trying to lose weight, and then give me a second option as if I'm trying to gain weight through muscle mass.
So for weight loss, I'm really big on HIIT training. HIIT stands for high intensity interval training. Takes way less time than steady state cardio where you're sitting on a treadmill for an hour bored to death. HIIT training is periods of low intensity followed by periods of high intensity, and those alternate for 20 to 30 minutes, whatever you want to set it up for. And you can basically throw any exercise together, throw any program together. You want to spike your heart rate up to 80-90% on your high intensity portion, hold it for 45 seconds or a minute, and then let yourself recover back down to 50-60% of your max heart rate. If you don't know how to figure your max heart rate, just generically, it's 220 minus your age. That's a generic calculation for your max heart rate. So
would you recommend the Apple Watch to help with that kind of stuff? Or y'all had some bands at the old gym, I remember when I was going there.
Yeah, we used to use something called MyZone, and that's what it was for. Weren't they called MyZone? Was it MyZone? I haven't used them in a couple of years.
That sounds right.
So what they would do was a heart rate monitor. It also kept a calorie count, but I had a big display on the wall so I could see everybody working out. And what I would do is I would just take everybody up to that upper 90% range. I'd hold them there for a minute and I'd let them all recover. That's high intensity interval training. A really simple program to do. Dr. White actually come up with this. It's a simple 20-minute HIIT program, and you can do it on the elliptical, the treadmill, a rower, a bike. So hit a 7-minute warm up, and then minute 8, hit a sprint, minute 9, hit a rest. Repeat that all the way to your minute 17, and then do a 3-minute cool down. So that's a 20-minute HIIT session that you can do anywhere. That's weight loss. I really like HIIT. You can mix in some steady state cardio, keep your heart rate around 60-70% for extended periods of time, 45 minutes, an hour, whatever you can handle. But don't overdo it so you won't go catabolic. And make sure you're eating enough. A program to gain strength, was that the second question? Gain strength, size. So first you got to get the nutrition right. You've got to be eating enough to grow muscle. Then for that client, it would be dependent, like the schedule I put him on would be, I say he, it could be a lady, would be dependent upon how many days they would commit to being in the gym. So if they would commit to 5 days a week, I would really break it down, very muscle group specific. We would have a chest day, we'd have a back day, we may have an arm day, a leg day. We could really break it down and be body part or muscle specific. But if the client says, hey, I've only got 2 days, I can get in the gym, then I'm going to probably put them on like an upper body push-pull day to where we work opposing muscle groups. We'll hit a horizontal push, a horizontal pull, vertical push, vertical pull to knock all that stuff out in one day. And then probably their next day, I throw a leg day at them, mix in abs here or there, make them do them at home. So it really depends on how many days you can commit to being in the gym as to what kind of program I put them on.
Do you like free weights over cables, or does it matter?
I think there's a place for both.
Yeah.
You have to be careful with dumbbells, that your form is right. Sometimes the cable machines and Smith machines will keep your form maybe more correct than free weights. You got to be careful with free weights. And that's one thing we're big on here is keeping people's form right so that we can reduce injuries.
Yeah, that's one thing that I was at the gym working by myself and then doing squats. I thought I had to have that military stance with my feet, toes pointed, straight in front of me, and shoulder width apart. And I was doing my squats, and I noticed my right knee just started feeling tweakish.
Yeah.
And then I got in underneath someone that knew what they were doing. And then they had me widen my stance and to a more comfortable, like, what does it have? If you jump up in the air and you land back down, how does your feet land?
Yeah, that's right.
And at that point, I began to work on, and that pain in my knee actually went away.
Wow.
And I was able to start increasing the weight that I was able to squat. Now, I don't do a lot of heavy weight just because I don't want personal injury, and I'm not trying to be a power lifter, because I do believe you can get over excessive. And then when you do hit your 50s, 60s, your joints are going to let you know you really pushed them.
It's a risk benefit analysis. Is the risk of me trying to bench press 400 pounds?
Right.
I don't go heavy much anymore either. Just slow, controlled reps, good form, time under tension. I'm not trying to win any bench press competitions.
Right. Right. So I want to move you in just a little bit to, let's see, make sure we're good on time. Yeah, I still got you for another 20 minutes roughly.
Yeah.
So are you still good for 20 minutes?
Man, yeah, I'm good. Well,
Okay,
yeah.
good deal. So I know that you are helping with a mastermind group that we're both involved in, and you have also been playing in a crypto space. So talk to me about your role. We know you're the personal trainer. We know you've got a personal studio here in Tupelo. So anybody that's interested will be able to reach out to you, and we'll get your contact info in a second. But talk to me about what your role is within this mastermind. Go ahead and plug that all you want, and then talk to me about what your opinion is on crypto.
Yeah, so I work with a group. I took this job in January with Capitalist Cartel. We are a real estate and cryptocurrency investment group, real estate first, and then we all kind of dabble in some crypto. I, along with, I think, everybody else, 6 months, a year ago, started buying Dogecoin on Robinhood because it was fun and we were all making money. I didn't realize I was buying garbage. Not that you can't make money on those meme coins, because they pump and dump, and if you catch the right wave, you can make some money. But when the whales end up dumping and you're left holding the bag, which is what will eventually happen if you play with those meme coins, then you lose. There are some really great functional coins, tokens out there that are good investments. But back to Capitalist Cartel, it's real estate, so it's how to perform due diligence on properties. It's banking and financing strategies, and then it's a huge network. We're at 128 members, and everybody in the group contributes something. So everything is online with the exception of some mastermind events that we do. We try to do every quarter, like the fishing trip that we were just on down in Burris, Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
I have another one that I'm planning, and maybe we'll head up north for the next one. A lot of our members are up north. So we try to get together as often as possible, but we do live events inside the group. We do something called the Deal Room on Tuesdays, where our owners will underwrite deals. And we've added a new feature to where we'll bring on a member panel as like a member hot seat. So our members can kind of talk about what they do, what they take away from the cartel, what they have to offer the cartel. And what their personal investments are. So we're kind of getting to know everybody, trying to get more people active in the group. But it's growing, and we're looking at doing bigger and bigger things as our membership grows. We're constantly adding new benefits to the group. Our website just launched, just went active. I'm not quite ready to advertise it yet. I've got to throw some content on there. I'm working on an affiliate program for our group where we'll actually pay you money to recruit new members, residual income each month. That's going to be really cool. So yeah, Capitalist Cartel and crypto. I started learning about crypto, like I said, with everybody else, buying Dogecoin on Robinhood, until I learned that there was actually good coins out there. Now we follow Stansberry Research, Symmetry Research, and a couple other resources. So none of the calls that I make inside Capitalist Cartel come from me. I scour these research groups that we subscribe to and pay big money to be a part of. I scour those. They put out 2 to 4 calls a month. I then take those calls and I vet them through a couple other sources, do a little of my own research, and then I post them out to the group. But the crypto part of Capitalist Cartel is just a small part of what we do. It's a real estate group, real estate investment group.
Yeah. So why did you join this group? Maybe you got hired and that's what prompted
Yeah,
you to join. I don't know. But why did you join this group, and why are you trying to grow its numbers?
yeah. So there's three owners to Capitalist Cartel: Jeremy and Daniel Butler, that are here in Tupelo. Caleb Marty is up in Missouri. Jeremy and Daniel have been clients of mine, and I've always looked up to these guys. They're great businessmen. They're self-made entrepreneurs. They're always looking for their next hustle. They're just go-getters. And I've told them for probably the last 5 years, if anything comes open inside your organization where you think that I might halfway be a good fit, I am open to it. So they know that I am a pretty good marketer. I'm good at organizing. They knew that I was actively learning crypto, and they didn't really have a crypto guy in the group, and they really didn't have anybody to manage the group. So they're throwing content, but the group's just kind of running willy-nilly through 2021 until I come along January 2022 to kind of bring some organization to the group. So they presented me with the offer in December. I took it, went full-time in January. And to grow the group, it's in my job description to grow the group. So I'm shooting for 200 members is my next goal, and we're growing. I think the affiliate program is going to be big. I feel like we've almost reached the extent of our organic growth. So I'm going to have to kind of get creative with my marketing and growth strategies from here. I think that affiliate program is going to be big.
Yeah, I'll vouch for the. So the whole reason I started Bigger Vision Facebook group was to grow my network. And the reason I plugged into Capitalist Cartel is to grow my network. The reason I plugged into some of the other masterminds that I'm plugged into, some of those were technical training masterminds, but for the most part, it was to grow my network. And the reason the network growth was so important to me, and it is to everyone, whether they realize it or not, is because the opportunity that comes through those relationships. So I've literally got a private money investor that came down on the fishing trip that met me through networking, and helps fund some of my real estate projects because of that. I knew him before the fishing trip, but we met each other through networking events.
Yeah.
Those opportunities. And that's what I think is so amazing about when you get plugged into groups like Bigger Vision Facebook group, Capitalist Cartel. The connections that you make get you to your dreams and your lifestyle that you're trying to get to quicker than if you have to absorb all of the knowledge by yourself 100% of the time. It really is a team effort. Without a tribe, you don't have the safety in numbers. And that's one thing that got me into the crypto, is I was able to look at what these others were doing, and I saw these lot larger net worth individuals doing moves in the crypto space, and I just began to mimic those. Truly believe that the best way to get started is to mimic somebody until you can find your own genuality. And then once you can bring that creativity and explore more of, your identity, start with just mimicking. So you get in these groups, you see what these ballers are doing, and you mimic what they're doing, and you're going to be successful.
It's all in who you surround yourself with. Like, I want to be the dumbest guy in the room. I want to be able to learn from everybody in the room with me. And I didn't realize the importance of networking and being around these type of groups and being in these groups until the end of last year. I mean, I've just been kind of winging it by myself. But the events and the groups that I'm now a part of are so crucial to my success. Like, I've always had these limits in my mind. Like, no, I can't. There's no way I can do that. I can't do what he's doing. But I've since realized that those limits are falsely created by my own mind. Those aren't real. There are no what I can do. There no.
So tell us where you want to be 5 years from now.
I want to make $1 million doing something. I don't know. I want to make $1 million. Continue to grow, Elevate Fitness, continue to grow, Capitalist Cartel. And I don't know, I don't really have a game plan. Who knows where I'll be in 5 years? I'm starting to build my own real estate portfolio. So I'm looking for some flips, some rentals. So I'm learning because all that's new to me. I've been a gym guy. Before that, I was in the fire service, EMT, a little time with PD. I've done about everything else. But this real estate game is new to me. It's intriguing. And I'm looking forward to building a real estate portfolio in addition to what else I've got going on.
All right. So there you heard it, folks. Bigger Vision Facebook group on my LinkedIn and my YouTube. Adam Holt, owner of Elevate Fitness, is looking for rental properties to either rent or to flip. He's just looking for some real estate. Would you take a 160 unit apartment complex?
Yeah, I'll commit to it and find a way to make it happen.
Boom. I love it, man. Because you know some folks that can partner up with you and help you. So, yeah.
Through our networking.
That's right. That's right.
Invest in yourself because nobody else will if you don't.
So I like to end it with this. What is a book and or a podcast that you recommend that really kind of fuels you to do a better Adam Holt?
Chris, hit me with that question again. My son called me.
So what is a book or a podcast that fuels you to be a better Adam Holt that you would recommend to someone?
Man, I just read Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins, and that was all. I would recommend. I think that's the name of it, Can't Hurt Me. That's awesome. I like Grant Cardone stuff, Gary Vee. I like the motivational self-improvement podcast, but they got to have some substance behind them too. A lot of them are just kind of hype you up with no substance. So I like to deliver some substance also. I wish I was more of a reader, but I'm not. But, you know, we all did the 75 hard.
I lost you, man. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Okay.
Son's blowing me up. And probably all he wants to know is how to turn on the microwave. How to turn on the microwave. Cardone, Gary Vee, Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. That's what I'm into right now.
Awesome, man. How do people find you?
Elevate Fitness on Facebook, Instagram. Adam Holt, Facebook, Instagram. We've got 7 trainers here. I'm not taking anybody personally. My schedule's full. But I've got 7 other trainers out here that are wide open. Capitalist Cartel on Facebook. Just look us up. Send them.
We're about to let you free so you can tell him how to kick that microwave on for the Hot Pocket.
Saboteur. Capitalist Cartel on Facebook. Adam Holt on all social media. Elevate Fitness is my gym. That's it. Did I forget?
Love it, man. Dude, I appreciate your time. Thank you for giving us some good tips on how to get our bodies healthy, regain our energy. Y'all check out the clinic, Wellness MD in Carterville, Tennessee. If you think you want to get some blood panels done. I met Dr. White on the fishing trip. I like him. Matter of fact, I plan on reaching out to him and checking some things out there as well. But dude, you dropped a ton of knowledge. I appreciate you. And guys, and gals, if y'all want to reach out to Adam personally or get hooked up with one of his personal trainers, then please hit him up on one of the social platforms. And we want you guys to live in success. See you later, man.
Thank you, buddy.